Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. In today's video, I am going to show you how you can do HTTP callout right from your Salesforce flow. If you want to integrate Salesforce with an external service, but have not been able to do before because you don't know how to write code, well then, fear no more, because today you can do it with the flow. HTTP callout from your Salesforce flow is a very powerful feature, and it became generally available in the Winter 24 release. Winter 24 release flow supports all kinds of HTTP methods: get, post, put, patch, and delete. I'm going to implement each of these methods in different videos. So I will do get first. Let's go to our Winter 24 release org and perform this activity within Salesforce flow. In this video, I'm going to implement get method. In this example, we are going to create a simple screen flow to take an IBAN, pass it to the external service to check that if the IBAN is valid, and then bring back a response, and we will see the result in this screen flow. The first thing that I need to do before starting flow is to create an external credential and name credential. So I will go to the name credential in setup. Let's write name credential here. Let's go to name credential. Here we have name credential and external credential. Here we have to first create the external credential. Let's hit new button and give a name. Let's write IBAN verification API and give the same thing, but click this one. Okay, and in the authentication protocol, choose custom. If you are not using another service, that may give you a specific type of authentication protocol to use, and click save. Now, the next thing I do is to create the principal. So in this principal section, I click new, and then I'm going to put the parameter name. Let's do it IBAN verification principal, and leave sequence number as is. Here we have the authentication parameter. If we need enter authentication parameters, we can add them here, but we are just going to skip that because we will send API key as a query parameter. So click save, and my principal is ready. Once this is ready, I need to add the principal to my permission set. So let me go to permission set to create a new permission. Click new one. Let's give the name IBAN. You can give any name. IBAN verification permission set. Save it. And assign this permission set to us. Manage assignment, add an assignment. Here. This is system administration. Click this one and next. And assign. So it is being added. I will go to my permission set again and choose my permission set. Let me find my permission set. This is my permission set I have already created, and click this one. And as you can see, we have external credential principal access. So click this one and click edit. Here we have our principal we have created in our external credential. Choose this one and add this one to our permission set and save it. So from the permission set standpoint, everything is ready. So well, in step number 3, we are going to create the name credential. Let's go back to name credential again. We have already created the external credential, and right now we are going to create a name credentials. Click new and give a name, label and name. Let's write IBM verification name credential and give this name. And here we need the base URL of the external service to put here in the URL part. So I am going to be using an external service called Abstract API. You can use from any API from here. I just go to dashboard. I just go to Abstract API, and in the dashboard we have the IBM Validation. Let's click the IBM Validation, and here we have a documentation. So in this documentation, we can get all needed information for integration. As you see, we have the response here. We have the base URL, and we have the request parameters. We will use these parameters and this information in our flow and in our HTTP callout action. So here we have the base URL. Let's choose the base URL. This part is base URL. Copy this part and go to name credential and paste it here. That's okay. We are done right now. This part is the enable for callouts. Don't forget to enable the callouts. Otherwise, your flow callout will not work. And then choose the external credential we have created. This is our external credential. And then keep the rest as is and click save. Cool. So my pull requests are done. The next step is creating flow. So I am going to create a screen flow. Let's go to flow in setup. Click new flow. And a screen flow. So here, I'm going to get an IBAN via screen flow. So I'm going to first add screen element. Add a screen element. And a text component. To get the IBAN from user. Give a name. Let's write IBAN and make it required. And give the name for the screen. Let's write IBAN checker. And let's configure the footer. Use a custom. Try to validate. As you see, we have the validate and the hide, previous, and pause. And our first screen element is ready. That's it done. So the user can enter the IBAN here. So we come to important part that I am going to do. I am going to create an action. Let's add an action element. Here, as you see, we have the create HTTP callout button here. Click this one. And now we are starting to create our HTTP callout action. So give a name. Let's write IBM Validation. That's okay. And choose name credential we have created. This is our name credential. And as you see, this is our base URL. We have already entered in our name credential. Hit next. Name to okay. Next. So right now, okay, so now invocable action. So let's give the name as IBM Validator. This is invocable action and give the label as an IBM Validator. As you can see, starting Windows 24 release flow, it will support all kinds of HTTP methods: get, post, put, patch, and delete. It supports all the methods. So I will choose get, and I will implement other methods following the next videos. The next step is this set URL path. We have already defined the base URL. Here we have to enter path URL. Let's go to our documentation. And here, as you see, we have path URL dash v1 dash. This is path URL. Copy this one and paste it here. We have defined the base URL and the path URL. The other thing is the query parameters. Here, these parameters, we can see these parameters in our documentation. As you see, we have two parameters, API key and IBM. We have to enter these parameters. So let's define this in our vocable action. Add key and write the name API key. And the data type is string. Make it required. And then another one, the IBM. Data type is string and make it required. Okay, we have already defined our query parameters. And the last thing is the provide the sample response. I click on new. To get the sample response, we have go to documentation again. Here, as you see, we have the sample response. In response, we have IBM and valid. So copy this one and paste it here. This is JSON format. Salesforce automatically parses the response and puts a proper data type against each of these. Click review. As you see, we have the data structure. We will get IBM as a string and valid as a Boolean, true or false. We will use this response in our flow. Right now, we are done to create the HTTP callout. It is very easy. Let's click done and save. As you can see, we are back on action page again. Give a name for this action. Let's give IBM Validator. And here you can see our query parameters. So we have to enter these query parameters. For the API key, we have to go to website and get, this is the key, API key, and get, copy this one and put it here. And the IBM, and IBAN. As you know, we will get from the user via screen element. Let's choose the IBAN in screen components, and that's all. So we have created new action. So click done. That's all. From now on, we will get result from the external service. So we have created the HTTP callout action. As you see, it is so easy. The last step is to show the response. Before showing response, we can have a decision element as a best practice if the callout is performed successfully. So for that, what I am going to do, I'm going to click on decision element. In here, we will look if the response status is 200. Let's give a name is status 200 and the label yes. No. Let's go back to yes. And here we have to put the condition. As you can see, we can get all responses from external service. We have responses from external service, which we will use them. We have response code. This is a status code we will use for this decision. We have default exception, which is error message if the callout is not done successfully. And this is the responses. Here we will get the responses IBAN and the valid is valid. Okay, let's choose the response code and make it equals 200 and make it done. Okay, if the status is 200, we will show the result in yes part. If the status is not 200, we will show the error message in the no part. So after that, let's go to yes part and add a screen to show if the IBAN is valid or not, and select a display component. Give a name. Let's give display result, and we can write our messages here. Let's write simple wording. From the resource picker, we can choose 2xx. We go to action and we go to 2xx, and here we have the IBAN. IBAN is valid, and let's choose the result, valid, true or false. Okay, we have already defined our messages, success messages, and give the name for the screen elements. Let's write display result screen and configure the footer, hide previous and hide pause, and done. Okay, this is our success messages. So let's add the no part. If we have an error while implementing callout, let's add a screen element. Add display text. Give a name. Display error. And we can write our error message here. So let's write like this. There is a problem while implementing HTTP callout. Here is the error. And choose HTTP callout action and choose the default exception. This is the error message. And give the name to screen element, display error message, and done. Okay, let's save the flow and give a name. Let's make it IBM checker and save. So our flow is ready. Let's debug it, see the result. Hit debug. And run. So we need an IBM. Let's go to our external service, abstract API, and choose this one. This is the valid IBM. Copy this one and put it here. And validate. As you see, the IBM, this IBM is valid, true. Our flow is working very well, and our callout action is working very well. So finish this one. And right now, I will manipulate the IBM and see the result. If the flow is working very well and the result is the false. And run again, and I will put this IBM and add an extra digit and validate. As you see, the IBM is valid, false. Cool. So this is the way how you can do HTTP callout right from your Salesforce flow. It is very easy and you don't need any code knowledge. In my next video, I am going to show you another example where it will implement HTTP post method. So I hope you like this video. Please hit the like icon and make your comments. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.